Hello, everyone. My name is Anson Asaka. I'm the founder of New Possibility blog. And today I'm going to continue our discussion about the Trayvon Martin case. And if you're familiar with my station or with my blog, you should know that I stand for justice for Trayvon Martin. That's my position on this case. But anyway, let's talk about Rachel Jeantel's testimony. Now, a lot of people have been criticizing her based on her performance during the trial. People have said that she had a bad attitude. Some people have made jokes about her appearance, about her skin complexion. People have compared her to Precious. And I renounce all of those condemnations. I renounce, people making jokes about her, talking about her appearance. And it's funny. I mean, the other day I was watching this documentary called Dark Girls. And it seems that, after all of these decades after slavery, after, over a century after slavery, and over 50 years after Jim Crow, African Americans still have an issue with color. And that came out during this whole um, trial because a lot of people have been criticizing Chantel based on her complexion. And I find that to be despicable. Also, I condemn all of this elitism. People condemning her simply because she's from the hood, simply because she may not be highly educated. She may not be the most articulate person. That doesn't entitle you, that doesn't give you a right to criticize her. It doesn't give you a right to look down on her. The fact of the matter is, regardless of all of that, her testimony is key. And she established some very important facts during her testimony. She established the fact that George Zimmerman followed Trayvon Martin. She established the fact that George Zimmerman is the one who basically initiated the confrontation. During her testimony, she testified that Trayvon Martin said, "Why are you following me?" And then shortly after that, she heard a bump. And then she heard Trayvon Martin say, "Get off, get off." So that makes it clear that at that point in the conversation, George Zimmerman was in a dominant position if there was a physical confrontation at that time. Because Trayvon Martin was the one saying, "Get off, get off." And let's remember, George Zimmerman studied kickboxing. George Zimmerman studied martial arts. So it is very likely that George Zimmerman could have initiated this confrontation. And her testimony confirms that at one point, George Zimmerman was on Trayvon Martin. So let's not try to discount what she said. Now, some people have said, well, she was dishonest in the past. She said that she was one age when she was actually another age. They also talk about the fact that she did not use Trayvon Martin's actual words when she conveyed the story to Trayvon Martin's parents. But those points, I mean, those are valid points about her past statements, but they have no bearing on her present statements. Her testimony, despite anything that you can say about her testimony came across as genuine. It came across as true. She did not hold back during her testimony. She used the actual words of Trayvon Martin, even though she knew that those words would be offensive, even though she knew that those words would not paint Trayvon Martin in the best light. The fact that she went ahead and used those words helps build her credibility. The fact that she was honest in her displeasure with the defense attorney helps establish her credibility. The fact that when she was upset or irritated with a question, she voiced that irritation. She didn't cover it up. So that helps build her credibility in my mind. And it helps the prosecution. Now, the fact that she made a past statement about how old she is, that has nothing to do with what's going on during the trial. I mean, the fact that she didn't want to tell Trayvon Martin's parents all the details in terms of what the foul language Trayvon Martin may have used during the confrontation. I mean, that's just a common sense thing. You don't want to use foul language in front of somebody's parents. So why are people blowing that up and making it into a big deal? And another point is, people have been talking about the fact that Trayvon Martin used the terms creepy cracker. And the defense actually tried to use those terms to argue that Trayvon Martin is the one who made this a racial incident. They're trying to use that to make Trayvon Martin out to be the racist. That is so ridiculous and absurd to me. Trayvon Martin isn't the one that hunted somebody down because of the color of their skin. Trayvon Martin isn't the one that killed somebody just because they're black. That was George Zimmerman who did that. And people are making such a big deal about this word cracker. First of all, George Zimmerman was creepy. If somebody's following you at night in the rain, stalking you, you would think that they were creepy too. Now, I don't use racial slurs in everyday language. I don't use the N-word. I don't call people crackers. I don't use any of that language. But the fact of the matter is that word cracker doesn't have much power. It has no history behind it. It has no history of oppression behind it. It has no history of Jim Crowism behind it. It has no history of slavery behind it. So that word is empty. And it doesn't mean much to most white people either. So let's stop pretending that that word is on the same level as the N-word. Now, people have talked about the fact that Trayvon Martin said, the nigga is still following me. First of all, as I said before, I don't use the N-word on a regular basis. And I don't condone the use of the N-word. It's a word that was originated from our oppressor. Our oppressor used that word to demean black people. Our oppressor used that word to degrade black people, to put us in an inferior position and posture. So I don't condone the use of that word. But I understand that there is a huge difference between how the black man uses the word and how the white man uses the word. One uses it as a tool of oppression. The other group, the African Americans, have adopted our oppressor's language, and we have tried to redefine the words that the oppressor has given us. So today, when the young people use the N-word, it can have multiple meanings. It can mean man. A lot of times, African Americans may use the N-word to refer to a man. Or they can use it as a term of endearment when they're talking to one another. Even though, again, I don't condone the word, but the fact of the matter is it's being used in a different way. It's not being used to put someone in an inferior position the way it's used when white people use the word. When white people use that word, it has a sting to it. And when black people use the word, it has a different meaning. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. I mean, people may deny that fact, but it's a fact. Even though I don't condone the use of the word does have different meanings when it's used by different people.